Hello, you listen to Count Richard von Coudenhove Kalergi. Today is Sunday the 19th of July, a lovely warm day, 19 degrees, and here's a couple of comments since my last video. I'm just driving along by the Grand Canal there, and in behind there is where Griffith College used to be, where I had a brilliant military career in the FCA and rose to the rank of private. But yeah, the canal here, we're just approaching Harold's Cross Bridge. The canal was built, construction began in 1756, and it's 82 miles long and connects the Liffey with the Shannon through 43 locks, and took just under 50 years to complete, and runs through Sallins, Tullamore, and joins the Shannon at Shannon Harbour. And it costs in the region of £877,000. And interestingly, there is a Grand Canal Walk you can do, which for those fit enough runs along the towpath and takes roughly 5 days for people to commute. Now the purpose of my video today was I kept seeing these signs in Dublin that said you can't be Irish and racist. And I have to say I'm a little bit annoyed about it, that it seems to be that there has this push to keep labelling people Irish that are racist. And I'm just wondering, do people in other countries have to put up with the same nonsense? And are you allowed to ask the question, can black people be racist, as an example? And for instance, if you look at this kind of labelling, does it present a situation where people who are not Irish living in Ireland means that their behaviour is beyond question? I would find that a very dangerous situation. Now we're just coming up to the bridge here at Portobello, and interestingly the building on the left hand side at Portobello Harbour has some of the windows blocked up, and that was due to a tax that was put on buildings called a window tax, and where the expression daylight robbery comes from. And you can see there's plenty of people enjoying the comforts and surroundings of the canal there. But I'd also like to just run through another couple of different aspects here. That I remember earlier on this year I met a nice young lady who had a master's degree in European history, but strangely enough never heard of our old friend Count Richard von Coudenhove Kalergi. And we got onto the topic of borders, and she said that Europe didn't have the right to control its borders, as the Europeans had gone everywhere. And then we got onto the topic of racism, and I said, did you think that Ireland was a very racist country? And she said yes. And I said, do you think that we're racist enough that we need 89 different non-governmental organisations dealing with racism? And she said yes. And then I asked the question, could black people be racist towards white people? And she said no, because we have power and privilege. And to me, that's where the problem starts, is you're starting to teach this kind of nonsense in college, that there is always going to be good and bad people everywhere, and nobody has the right to insult or assault anybody irrespective of who they are based on their race, colour or creed. But it doesn't, to be branding Irish people racist just on this kind of nonsense is dreadful. But I'd also like to add as well, you can see there, that's the Barge pub there at the junction of Charlemont Street, and interestingly the sign says South Dublin White marching on. I think they're Leeds supporters. They seem very happy about something. I wonder what that could be. Ireland has also the highest number of proportion of adults living abroad out of all the OECD countries, and 1 in 6 people over the age of 15 now lives overseas. And a diverse Cork has 43% of its population born overseas. Last year, over 10,000 charities registered in Ireland for the first time. 10,000, the number of charities registered in Ireland, has now exceeded 10,000. Now there's 20,000 NGOs operating in Ireland. 10,000 of them are getting funding from the state, and it's costing the state roughly €5 billion per year, and that is out of a tax take from government that is taking in roughly 50 billion a year. Now on my drive along the canal there, I also noticed a number of tents in against the wall, which I'm assuming are unfortunately for homeless people. Now I would also like to mention, during the week I had a chance meeting with a very nice gentleman by the name of Damien Richardson, who has edited a book called Our Martyrs. Now, Damien's story was that he was involved in I suppose this removal of houses, and he came across, he was taking the contents of he was removing the contents of a house, and he came across in 3 boxes there was an old book, which was a book that was printed in 1896 by Father Dennis Murphy, and it was a list of the number of people who died in Ireland under the penal laws from 1535 to 1691, and it's an extraordinary read, and I strongly recommend that people can purchase this book, and it's called Our Martyrs. And it was very nice to meet Damien. He was a lovely man. We had a very interesting chat, and hopefully we'll be in touch at a future. But there are just a couple of comments for Jeremy Owen. Thanks for listening. Good night, good luck, God bless, and enjoy these beautiful summer evenings while you can. And we're just coming up onto the bridge here at Leeson Street, and you can see all the development going on with the cranes. I just took a spin there by the back of Charlemagne Street, where that famous pub that had closed there, where all the students used to go, and in behind that an extraordinary amount of building going on. So but there you go. Thanks for listening. Good night and good luck, and God bless.